In the early summer of 2020, an unexpected commotion unfolded in a prestigious beachfront community in Fortaleza, Brazil. Local residents were startled to witness a dramatic scene as Brazilian federal law enforcement, clad in full tactical gear and heavily armed, stormed a lavish apartment complex. The focus of their operation was a recent tenant who had maintained a low profile since his arrival just a few months prior. As the officers escorted the man from the building, onlookers were unaware that they were witnessing the capture of one of the United Kingdom's most sought-after fugitives. This individual had been evading authorities in connection with a major Scottish police investigation known as Operation Escalade. The operation targeted one of Scotland's most notorious and influential organised crime syndicates. The man's reserved behaviour during his brief stay was not a result of natural introversion, but rather a calculated effort to avoid detection while on the run from international law enforcement. James White's ascent to the apex of a major organised crime network marked a significant shift in the European drug trade landscape. His rise followed the mysterious disappearance of his predecessors, the Gillespie brothers from Rutherglen, who had earned the moniker the Escobar brothers for their extensive cocaine distribution across Scotland. The brothers, last seen in 2019, are presumed to have met a violent fate at the hands of their South American associates. In the wake of the Gillespies' disappearance, White swiftly assumed control of the operation. Concurrently, Police Scotland launched a public campaign to locate key members of the organisation who had fled abroad. This effort also targeted Christopher Hughes, who would later receive a 25-year sentence for his involvement in the murder of Dutch crime journalist Martin Koch. In a twist of fate, when Italian authorities apprehended Hughes at the Gliss Hotel in Turin in January 2020, White was present. Both men were using fraudulent passports obtained through a Kent-based forgery ring. While Hughes was detained, White managed to convince the Italian police of his false identity and evade capture. The passport fraud operation, run by Anthony Beard and Christopher Zatek, provided high-quality forged documents to various criminals over a 5-year period. These passports, though officially issued, were procured using false information and commanded prices between £5,000 and £20,000. After his narrow escape in Italy, White acquired another false identity and fled to Brazil. Despite being one of the UK's most wanted individuals, he continued to orchestrate criminal activities from abroad. Over a 2-month period in 2020, he exchanged thousands of encrypted messages with associates, arranging drug deals and orchestrating violent acts against rivals. While in Brazil, White became romantically involved with Paula Gomez, who later posted a heartfelt tribute to him on social media following his arrest. As his resources dwindled, White contemplated returning to the UK to face trial, discussing with his former wife the possibility of surrendering if he could amass sufficient funds and negotiate favourable terms. During the investigation into White's criminal network, authorities uncovered his involvement in 2 significant drug smuggling operations. The first came to light in November 2017, when Border Force officials in Dover intercepted an HGV containing cocaine valued at £10 million. The vehicle, which had travelled from Alicante, Spain, was destined for a shell company established by the gang in Rochdale, Greater Manchester. The cocaine, divided into 90 taped blocks, was concealed in secret compartments within the lorry. Investigators later discovered that this was just one of 17 similar shipments made over the preceding 2 years. Following this setback, White directed an associate to set up another front business in Glasgow to facilitate the continued importation of narcotics. This task fell to Paul Fleming, White's trusted lieutenant, also from Glasgow. Together they established a fake solar panel company called Adastra Off-Grid, ostensibly based in Spain, to serve as a cover for smuggling large quantities of cocaine from South American countries, including Brazil, Colombia, and Bolivia, into the UK. Their operation benefited from contacts established by David Sell, another gang member who had made frequent trips to Brazil to meet with high-ranking cartel members before his imprisonment in 2018. The scheme was further facilitated by Fleming's residence in Alicante and White's fluency in Spanish. In April 2020, Fleming sent a coded message to White referencing the use of green lanes in shipping, a term for routes with minimal security checks for established companies. White's response, suggesting the addition of 100 kilograms to the next shipment, highlighted the scale of their operation. The sophistication of their smuggling methods was revealed when police raided an industrial unit in London, discovering solar panels with specially engineered compartments designed to conceal contraband. White's ruthlessness in maintaining control over the drug trade was evident in his treatment of former associate Robert Allen. Allen had incurred a £90,000 debt after failing to sell a cocaine shipment believed to belong to the Gillespie brothers. This led to Allen fleeing Scotland to escape White's retribution. This account illustrates the complex and far-reaching nature of White's criminal enterprise, spanning multiple countries and employing sophisticated smuggling techniques. It also demonstrates the harsh internal dynamics of such organizations, where debts and perceived betrayals can lead to severe consequences. James White and his associates, including the Gillespie brothers, operated a dual-faceted enterprise that blended legitimate business with criminal activities. One of their notable ventures was the creation of an encrypted phone brand called Maximum Protection Communications, MPC. Alongside his involvement in drug trafficking, White also pursued a passion for boxing. He established Lockstock Promotions, which organized boxing events across Scotland, featuring emerging fighters. These events served a dual purpose, providing a platform to showcase new talent while also promoting the MPC brand. The group cleverly integrated MPC advertising into these events, featuring the brand on boxing ring floors and on t-shirts worn by promotional models. The MPC business model was straightforward yet profitable. The company would modify Google Nexus 5 or Nexus 5X Android phones, installing their own security features and operating system. They would then set up messaging accounts for customers and include a data-only SIM card. The initial cost for customers was £1,200 per device, with 6-month renewals priced at £700. Despite a relatively small customer base of around 5,000 phones, this model potentially generated about £6 million for the company. Some MPC devices were further customized for heightened security, with features such as removed microphones, cameras, and GPS functionality. Certain models even incorporated a dual boot mode, allowing users to access a secret file system containing encrypted communications by using a specific power-on sequence. These modifications made traditional law enforcement interception methods ineffective, as messages were typically only accessible on the user's device in readable form. In a disturbing turn of events, MPC was allegedly used as part of a scheme to target Dutch crime blogger Martin Koch. After Koch had mentioned Moroccan drug lord Ridwan Taghi on his blog, Vlinder's Crime, the criminal group devised a plan to gain Koch's trust. They paid him approximately €13,000 to run MPC advertisements on his website, reportedly with the ultimate goal of facilitating an attempt on his life by Taghi's associates. In June 2020, after only 6 months as a fugitive, James White's run came to an abrupt end when Brazilian authorities stormed his apartment. Following his arrest, White spent nearly 2 years in Brazilian custody, contesting his extradition to the United Kingdom. Investigations into White's finances revealed a stark contrast between his lavish lifestyle and his lack of legitimate income. Records showed no earnings since 2004, yet White and his ex-wife maintained a luxurious standard of living. This included paying a substantial monthly mortgage, hosting an extravagant wedding in 2015, and indulging in international holidays to destinations such as Mexico, the United States, and Paris. Law enforcement raids in 2017 and 2020 uncovered a trove of high-end possessions in White's home, including designer clothing, jewelry, and a watch valued at £21,000. Encrypted communications revealed further extravagant purchases, such as quad bikes and jet skis for their children, as well as home improvements funded by illicit cash. When White finally faced the Scottish courts in July 2023, the judge, constrained by legal limitations, imposed a sentence of 9 years and 10 months. The judge expressed that this sentence fell short of what he believed the crimes warranted, stating that White's offences were of the utmost seriousness and involved a degree of criminality rarely seen in Scottish courts. Had it been possible, the judge indicated he would have imposed a sentence exceeding 15 years. The court heard that for nearly a decade, White had been a senior member of an organised crime group operating across 3 continents, with activities spanning numerous countries including Scotland, England, Italy, the Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, France, Russia, the United Arab Emirates, and Brazil. Paul Fleming, White's associate, pleaded guilty in July 2022 to directing gang activities between December 2017 and January 2022. His crimes included orchestrating the sale and supply of cocaine and cannabis, arranging drug and money storage locations, and organizing the importation of illegal firearms and ammunition. Fleming also admitted to instructing gang members on concealing and transporting cash to further their criminal enterprise. He received a 9-year prison sentence for his role in the organization. This case highlights the global reach and sophistication of modern organized crime networks, as well as the challenges faced by law enforcement in bringing such operations to justice. It also underscores the disparity that can exist between the severity of crimes committed and the sentences that can be legally imposed. That's it for today's video. We're working hard behind the scenes to create more content for you to enjoy. It would really help the channel grow if you could like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.